first piece is from a movie, Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes!
Nope, still not working. We're so sorry.
Okay. I'll just talk loud. It'll be great.
Hooray!
So, you see these cool pink tassel that I'm holding. And what this is if those of you that have graduated from college, you get a tassel and the color coordinates with the school that you graduate from, a school of engineering, a school of education, or when you graduate from college from the school of music, you get a pink tassel because that's their color pink. And so in band and orchestra, if you graduate from Evergreen High School and you've made it all 4 years in band or all 4 years in orchestra, we give you a pink tassel commemorating music to wear at graduation. And so we give one of those to each of our seniors at their last concert. And band kids, they get theirs next Wednesday. They don't feel left out today. They get theirs next Wednesday. But I will be recognizing our seniors. There are two in this ensemble. I'll be recognizing one first. They have asked to be roasted a little bit. So I tried to find something that would be fun. So nothing that's too bad, nothing to put them in therapy or anything. So for this first one, Melanie, where's Melanie? Melanie, come on up, Melanie. So Melanie Mitchell is our first senior in string orchestra. Melanie has been with us all 4 years, started back in her freshman year. And for at least 2 of those years, at the end of the year, like the day school got out, we would have a chat and said, oh, and by the way, I won't be back next year. What are you talking about? And then I think it even happened, but did it happen last year? Maybe the year before. I don't know. But at least 2 of those years, oh, I won't be continuing in orchestra. So for threatening to leave orchestra at the end of every school year, I award Melanie Mitchell with the I'm Quitting Award. Next up, we have a really cool piece by a very young composer, and he was inspired to write this piece after he took a college course in, I want to say it's astronomy, but he got to do a bunch of cool stuff with the Hubble Space Telescope. And so he was inspired to write this piece based on the images that he was able to get with the Hubble Space Telescope. And we are going to try to do some cool things with the lights. So we'll see how that goes. This is called Luminosity. Work lights. Can you go grab it? reason you just saw all the violins switch places is because in most of the concerts I try to give all the violins a chance to play first violin. And at one of our concerts, I may have told you this story already, but it was at the festival up in Bellingham. I had the first violins over here, and I had them play over here, and the judge said, just take the extra minute and have them switch. So he took the extra minute and had them switch. So that's good. All right, our second senior who's in this group, Jacob Strauss, come on up here. So Jacob joined us just this year, right? Isn't that right, Jacob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jacob joined us just this year and hadn't played in a while. He's getting back into playing cello again, which is just fantastic. He's done a wonderful job getting through the year, and I thought, well, he came back. He's graduating with us, so he gets one of these too. I thought that was just fine for him to have one of those. I thought it was really good. And I had to think, so what do I come up with an award for Jacob? And I thought I came up with one that was pretty appropriate. First of all, he's got an epic beard going on. And then, and this isn't meant in a bad way, but there was a concert where he just wasn't there. And I was like, where's Jacob? And I don't know. What happened to Jacob? And Jacob was nowhere to be found. But it all worked out. And he's here tonight. And so in honor of his epic beard and the difficulty of finding him sometimes, will he be at the concert? And what an epic beard. I gave Jacob Scruggs the Concert Sasquatch Award. And it's basically just a hoedown. But what was really fun about it is that it was written in a way that is challenging for every section. And first violins get played in upper positions, like it was with pretty much most of the pieces that we tried to play this year, so that we build new skills. So I hope you really enjoy Fiddle Fury. we're about to play is by Evergreen. It's called Two Norwegian Airs. The first piece you're going to hear is folk song. It's the one that we did at festival. And then we're doing the rest of it, the second Norwegian air. It's actually two pieces, but they're connected. So you'll understand that once we do it. So the first one is folk song. The second one is called Cowkeeper's Tune, which was a very popular tune in Norway that basically cowkeepers would sing. They get the cows to come in and get milked. It's really neat. And then the last one is a barn dance, which is very influential in Midwest America. And you'll really get the idea for that one when you play that one too. So this is Two Norwegian Airs by Evergreen. Whoever that is, please turn off your cell phone. All right, make sure it's silent and off. Whoever that is. Our next piece features two violinists, and to do that, they have to stand here and not right against Sarah. So we're going to scooch the orchestra back about 2 feet. So get up. 9 in this group, so I'll do you now, you after this next one. First up, this person is placed in both band and orchestra. And if I could put a giant meme up on the wall, it would be of that guy that is like, do all the things. His would be, play all the instruments. And Ben Beam gets the Play All the Instruments award for attempting to be proficient at every instrument in both the band and the orchestra. Now, check out Grace back down the bass. Isn't she awesome? It's important that you stay there for just a second, Grace, because Grace has been declared the queen of the orchestra. Wait, there's a very specific reason that she is the queen of the orchestra. Because she has a magnificent red throne that she sits on. But really, she had this chair she sat on. It was this red chair, and she sits on it every day, which is great. I mean, you even see professional basses; they have stools, and it just so happened that the bass stools that I ordered just came in today. So, sorry, Grace, but I wanted you to have your throne for the concert tonight. It's very important that you had that. So, our queen of the orchestra, Grace Benjamin. Our next senior, now, they're not all roasts, because I'm just not necessarily that guy, because it's hard to find a roast for this person. She's so sweet and so nice. And every single day, and I'm not even exaggerating or kidding, every single day, hi, Mr. G. Hi, Mr. G. Every single day, because she's just the most wonderful person, very sweet. Been in orchestra all 4 years playing all along, and this is the Daily Greeting Award. Greeting me every morning with a very cheerful, good morning, Mr. G, to Ulays. Now, this next person, when I ask them a question or I ask them to do something in class, what I get usually is this. There's one particular person who always does that, and the first couple times it's like, okay, and then after a while it's like, it's a little creepy. But it's often, and I don't know if it's in other classes, but it's definitely in orchestra. And for his disconcerting smile, when a question is asked or asked to play, the Creepy Smile Award goes to Jaden Clear. Particular chunk of seniors is this young gentleman right over here playing cello. This is Wyatt. Doesn't he have the coolest hair you've ever seen? Yeah. And I thought so too. And on the award it even says, well, just look at it. And Wyatt Elliott gets the Best Hair Award. All right, up next is a wonderful piece by Antonio Vivaldi. This is Concerto for 2 violins in A minor. We learned about playing in minor keys in this particular ensemble and how they're related to other keys, and they get to learn more after this concert. Because when this concert is over, we don't just sit around eating bonbons. As a matter of fact, both classes, in case they say we're not doing anything in orchestra, have a huge scale test before the end of the school year. This class has to play all 12 major scales in at least 2 octaves. And the string orchestra has 8 scales that they have to play. 1 of them in 3 octaves, the rest in 2 octaves. And we're going to learn some music theory. This class is going to get a huge music theory dump next week. They have no idea what they're in for. I used to teach music theory in the college level. They're in for it now. So this particular piece, it's an absolutely gorgeous piece. You're going to love it. And it features 2 very outstanding violinists from our chamber string, Freddie Martinez and Grace Wong. And as a matter of fact, the reason I decided to feature them at this concert is because this duet, it was with a piano player, right? Yes, with a piano player, earned them first alternate to state in our region. So. And I noticed that this is very, very playable by our orchestra, so why not back up 2 outstanding violinists from our own orchestra? This is the first movement from Antonio Vivaldi's Concerto for 2 violins in A minor. to our last piece. We have our last few seniors to get to. First of all, this particular person is such an outstanding member of our ensemble, not just playing, but in an organizational sense. And the thing that stands out to me the most is at the end of last school year, my orchestra library was a mess. We had stuff everywhere. We had them in, they were in like weird big boxes that didn't quite fit it. And so I bought all these cool little boxes. And a few of us started messing with it. And this person went, no, stop. I will fix this. And she did fix it very, very much. And for organizing the entire orchestra library and getting it in proper working order, I think she even put it in a Google document or something, or in a digital format, to our orchestra secretary, Lily Gillis. Halfway through, so hey, and now I can look it up on the computer and not open the big, it's a huge giant drawer, about 7 feet tall and about this wide. And usually I just stand there and stare at all of it and try to figure out, now what do I play next? All right, so this next one, this particular person started freshman year, was very quiet, and to be quite honest, played okay. And got exponentially better through all the COVID nonsense, made it into chamber strings, and then even ended up being featured in our last piece. And I gave this person, going from unassuming to outstanding, the Under the Radar Award, because it just kind of came out of nowhere. It goes to Grace Wong. Grace Wong is also one of the officers for Orchestra, so she gets to wear a cool leadership stole at graduation too. So you get her leadership stole. So if you're leadership, your senior year, you get one of those too. All right. So the next one, trying to think of the best way to do this one. I could do it in front of you, but it would be really weird because then I'd be talking at a much faster pace, and as I started talking, it would be hard for you to understand. And it's like, Mr. G, can I turn it up? Can you slow it down a little bit? Yes, Mr. G, can I you really, when you talk to me, it has to be at a much slower pace than that. And for speaking at a speed that I can barely understand, the Fast Talker Award goes to Milena Jacobs. Milena does a great job on stage with The Lion and Wizard of Oz. So at least I know Milena can speak at a normal talking. For some reason, not just with me. All right. And our final senior. And I went in alphabetical order, so that's kind of how this ended up going. This particular person, well, it's obviously Ajax. Ajax, outstanding violinist, came to us from Mountain View. Yeah. I think, was it sophomore or junior?
Middle of sophomore.
Middle of sophomore year, came to us from Mountain View High School, has been just an outstanding addition to our group. However, sometimes, if I ask Ajax a question, or I catch him off guard, or something like that, I get one of these. stare when asked a question. Or put on the spot, I award Ajax Smith the deer in the headlights. Ajax was co-president this year, so. A couple of things before the chamber strings plays their last piece. And I always have to make sure that I write things down so I don't forget. I sent out in an email a link so that you can order sweatshirts that was put together by leadership. And they found the company to do it. And from what I understand, I didn't put this in the email because I didn't know at the time. The idea is you order the sweatshirts. They will be delivered here to the school, hopefully before school gets out. In the event that they don't, they promised me that they would deliver them to people so that I don't have to try to figure out, A, who they belong to and how to find their house in the summer. So if you order those online, they're fantastic shirts. If you've taken a look at them, they actually went to a graphic design artist, found a wonderful, wonderful design that it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. I hope you get one. It has everyone's name on it. For some strange reason, it has my birthday on it. Last year, my name was on the back of it. It's a bunch of weird kids. Anyway, I think I've just about hit everything. I know there's something happening after this particular piece, but this next piece that we're going to play is St. Paul's Suite by Gustav Holst. He wrote this before he became astronomically famous for the planets. This is the guy who wrote the planets, which inspired John Williams for a lot of the Star Wars music that you've heard. And this particular piece he wrote when he was at the St. Paul's Girls' School. He taught orchestra there until the time that he died. He started, I think it was around 1909, 1908. And they built a new music building in 1912 where he had a soundproof room, not just to teach orchestra class, but also he would write his music in there for hours on end. And one of the first pieces that he wrote was this particular piece for that orchestra at the St. Paul Girls' School. That's why I called it the St. Paul Suite. One of the movements, the Dargason, ended up being in the second suite for band, which is a very famous band piece. We're going to do 3 of the movements. We're going to do the first one, the jig, really super fun. The middle one, the intermezzo, which you'll hear some Eastern influence in that. And this is when he was playing around with doing different genres and styles. You'll hear some Eastern style music along with kind of a barn dance thrown in the middle, and then back to the Eastern music. He perfected it when he did Planets. It was a lot better when he did that. But this is when young in his career. And then at the very end, the Dargason, which was just a very fun piece. I think we played that at our festival preview concert. So this is the end for the chamber strings. I just want to say to string orchestra and to the chamber strings, it has been an absolute joy to teach both of them this year. Both groups have made huge strides. I so much enjoy being the orchestra teacher here at Evergreen. I love every single one of these kids and what they do. They're fantastic musicians. They're great people, and I try to get them to be better people. As grumpy as I seem sometimes, I just want you to be better. All right? So this is the St. Paul Suite by Gustav Holst.
I created a piece to commemorate Mr. Sorum and Mr. G because I couldn't really think of a better gift than music. So we've been putting this together the past week, a little over a week. And so I just hope you enjoy my little piece, Two of a Kind. the screen protector to come down?
Throughout the year, we have been doing a little bit of our own, well, photography lessons. It's almost there. But we have been making a collage of some sort.
An amazing director of ours. It's not to be
Our
named.
fantastic director.
We're working on it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll keep going. So this is just a small snippet, and by small I mean very, very, very small.
Taking these photos in and out of class, whether he knows it or not. If we could go to the first one. Off guard.
I was informed that Ben was his honorary other adopted child. So this is his third child that he stole from someone who wasn't stolen. It was stolen from Eric.
This is Berry. The G stands for garden. Gotta be creative.
All right.
This one. We represent our 4 parts to the G stands for gluttony. Next one.
Is there play?
Go ahead. Next one. During our Bellingham trip.
Funny story. So this was taken during our first travels during our Bellingham trip, where we stopped in the Armory in Seattle, and Gia got a, what was it, a Subway sandwich? Yes. A euro. And he then proceeded to forget his wallet and coat at his table, and we all thought, oh, he'll come back for it. No, he came and sat down at our table and was like, hey guys, what's up? And we're like, G, are you forgetting something? And he's like, no, what? And I'm like, how about your wallet and your jacket? No, we still have another like 3 hours on the bus. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I guess I kind of need this. So,
Figured out example C.
I'm pretty
everybody taking pictures, even the bands. We have of you, Mr. G.
Yeah, we have slides on the inside. All right, so yeah. So this was taken by our wonderful, wonderful DJs.
That's our president.
Yeah, that's right. We also had another one who was eating a sandwich. This one just looked funnier because his mouth was open. All right, guys, what?
This one was taken during
Just for the
our
whole
organ symphony trip, which we do every year. Try to. He is not happy, guys.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that this was taken while Sarah, our wonderful first chair, yeah, there's Sarah. I don't know where Sarah is. Where's Sarah? There's Sarah. That's Sarah. While she was asking me about something. So I'm pretty sure this is just him listening and actually not very upset. It just looks really funny out of context.
Next one. This is why you don't talk during the performance at the organ.
We also had another one, which was taken yesterday. I just didn't have time to put it in, but it was G wielding a Nerf gun. So if you see G walking around with a Nerf gun, just know that he's armed and dangerous. Trying to stick to a sort of G stands for theme. We saw this. There was actually a lot of edits to this one, like the Soviet flag in the background. It was quite an experience when it came
This is
out.
actually the tamed down version.
Yeah.
You actually don't see all of the hammers and sickles in the background.
But yeah, so yeah, this photo.
You can have the next one. Of course, we also got him with the Snapchat filter. There are a few of them, but we decided they were not appropriate for this slide.
We're mistaken for Sora. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Next one.
This was right during the concert.
No, like this was
No,
like
during.
right
This is
about
during the concert.
I'm back. That's
Get out the next one.
we did have it reenact this today. Chairs, you know he loves chairs.
Next. This happens a lot when you're in orchestra.
All right, I think that's last. Yeah.
Yeah. This is him ducking away from finger strings. He doesn't believe in us anymore.
Leaving the school. You
Yeah.
can thank this one for that amazing photo. All right.
I believe that is it. Now that. Now, this was just a small sample size of what we've done. But we've also wanted to commemorate this final concert as you've done so much in our lives that we just want to give just a little thing to you.
Come here. Yeah, come here.
Mrs. G, can you come down?
Yeah, Mrs. G. To commemorate all the photos that we've taken of G, we have a photo of us and G in the photo, of course, because we can't have a photo without G.
We took this picture today. We are mad.
Literally, right before this. Yeah, I know. We would like to thank our wonderful bands representatives that went out and ran this photo to us. So if you want to show the audience the photo that we literally took like an hour ago.
By the whole chamber strings.
And if we didn't get you to sign it and you're in chamber, we're very sorry.
We literally took this picture at 6:45. That's why I am just aghast. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
We will be showing him the rest of the pictures tomorrow.
Before we get going, we're going to tune in just a minute. I want to make a couple of acknowledgments. First, I want to thank Mr. Sorn for helping out with all of this stuff, my partner in crime in the band world, and helping me out with all of this. Thank you, Mr. Sorn. I really appreciate it. I'd like to send out a word of appreciation to our booster organization, who they're all volunteers. They work really, really hard, and it's, I don't know if they're all, I'm sure they're all here. Miss Lane, our president, Mr. and Miss Cochran, and Mr. Cowan. They're on the board. We will have openings in the fall for board members. Now, don't freak out. Being a board member is easy. It's easy mode. And we do need some parents that can help with that in the fall. We will talk about that when that time comes, asking for some help with that, because the band plans on going on a trip. We're going to do something else with Orchestra we don't know yet. Thank you to the parents who went on the trip with us. We couldn't have done it without you. We really appreciate you. And every parent who encourages their student to practice and get better. We recently had a 30-day practice challenge. We had 16 members practice for 30 days straight. It was fantastic. There were so many that I had a prize that was planned, but I only thought maybe 4 or 5 of them would do it. So now I have to come up with another option. We will do something cool with those. How many was it again?
16.
16 people. Isn't that great though? I mean, it's great. Especially thank you to our administration for being supportive. A big, huge, massive shout out to our light and sound people who helped us out today. Thank you. It's about 115 degrees where I'm standing right now, so we're going to get going on our last piece. This is the Bacchanal from the opera Samson and Delilah. It's not played very often. The Bacchanal happens Samson has already been seduced by Delilah. He's already had his hair chopped off. He's already weak. This is the big celebration where they're celebrating Samson is now weak. And there's a part, this is the part where there's a big dance in front of their pagan god. That's why it's called a bacchanal. They dance with abandon. After this piece is over, this is an interlude to the next section that happens when they bring out Samson in chains and they try to get him to bow to the god. I think it's Dagon or something like that. I can't remember exactly. He refuses, of course. They tie him to the pillars. He prays to God. He gets his strength back. He pushes down the 2 pillars, and everybody dies, just like Shakespeare. So, yes. This is the interlude where they're celebrating that they have defeated Samson and his God, or at least they think they have. This is the bacchanal. And thank you all for coming. Before I forget, the students put on a thing where after this particular performance, they meet up at Sherry's. I don't sponsor it. The school doesn't sponsor it. All right? But the students are part of it. They're very serious about it. They want to be able to come back to Sherry's every time, so they expect that these young adults will behave like young adults because they just go there. I make an appearance, I have a milkshake, and I go home and try to sleep. Especially after this. So afterwards, parents, just so you know that it's not some thing that they're making up. Yes, the orchestra students do go to Sherry's afterwards, and they hang out for a little bit, and then they go home. They don't hang out all night, but it is fun. It's good, clean fun. They get to hang out and talk about orchestra things or whatever they talk about. I don't hang out very long, but they're good kids. These are good kids, and I'm proud to be their teacher. You should be proud to be their parents. Thank you so much for this evening, and I look forward again to seeing you very soon. By the way, all of the string players who are on the stage right now, they're going to play this again at the band concert next Wednesday, in case they didn't tell you that. They are playing this at the end of the band concert next Wednesday. We're doing it one more time. All right? Just so you're aware, next Wednesday, same bad time, same bad channel. Only the old people know what I mean. Are we all set? I'll go to the chair. Everyone got to play a tiny bit? amazing job tonight. Orchestra. Thank you to the band and the entire symphony orchestra. Thank you, everyone.